increase patrols there. They're agreed to it. We're talking with the security for the THA so that they're visible on that corner. We're asking the mayor to look at the corner of Hoffman and Oakland to make sure that they begin to move that loitering away. So we're taking steps to improve the situation, not just throwing up our hands and say it's bad. That's easy to do.
Absolutely.
The hard work is actually taking steps. We want to put up signs that this corner under video surveillance. They look up and see a patrol car or the THA security guard. You're not going to stand out selling drugs when you know that you're being filmed or the cops is going to lock you up. So the credit union can actually be a catalyst for change if we use it that way. I don't believe that we can improve. I believe I was born here, so you just came in 90. I was born here in 53.
But
so
don't get me wrong, I'm not saying
life
that we can't do it. I'm just saying on that side of the street, it is just not going to work. And I'm just going to say one more thing, and then I'm done.
Okay.
That liquor store and that corner store,
That's right.
they hire a policeman to sit outside all day.
Mm-hmm.
But, and let me tell you something, I have addressed the police with this also.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a policeman, policewoman, you are on duty as long as you're in that uniform.
Yes.
But when they're on that street, they are there to protect the store, and that's it. There are drug dealings going on all day long. They sit out there in chairs and everything. But the police don't do anything.
Yes.
Because you want to know what? Because they only there to protect that store because that's what they're being hired to do.
Yes.
So the drug dealing is still going on even though the police is still sitting there on the corner.
You're concerned about citizens. I share that with you 100%. You know, because we have been raised to respect our elders.
Yes?
Period.
Yeah?
All right? So the credit union works for them in that we can help them handle their business so they're not exposed to that. If it's in the building, they can come down the steps, do their business, and go where they need to go. They're safe. They don't have to leave. They don't have to worry about somebody robbing them with a pocketbook for cash. If you're right there at the place, or if you're mobile, you're mobility challenged in a wheelchair or whatever, you're not trying to travel around just to conduct your normal business that we take for granted. That's actually a safety factor for them, and it works better for them, particularly when we are working with them hand in hand, senior accounts, and make sure their bills are paid so that they're not paying $35, $25, $50 for late fees because the money didn't get there on time. We set them up for automatic payments. They get their check, comes into their account, their bills are paid, what they have left is theirs, and we show them how to use those debit cards, and when they want to go out and buy anything, they're using a card and not having cash where people can exploit them. So this is directly to benefit them. But because there's a drug dealer over by the liquor store, I don't want to say it's not my problem, but that is a police problem. The credit union will not solve that, it will help that.
Well,
so
in reality, safety comes first.
That's right.
Right? I understand that it won't be a credit union problem, but for me, it will be a concern for me, just in case if somebody gets the right mind to think that maybe they can rob the senior citizen. So not the bank. So now we got security, we got THA residents, and we got seniors who are all under this umbrella, just in case if somebody gets this mind and want to rob the bank.
Your security concern.
Can I make a comment?
Yes, and I'm sorry, Ms. Love, thank you for your question. And I understand your concerns perfectly, and we spend a lot of time thinking about that, and we're trying to do everything to address the very issues that you're bringing up. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I share the concerns of Commissioner Weldon, but I would like us to address it from a business perspective. I know it's a startup. I hear what you're saying. It's a strong possibility based with the figures that you just gave us, what I heard you quote, will be beneficial to the community. I would like us to figure out how the housing authority can assist this credit union without it being in the senior building, that whatever assistance that the housing authority provides as a satellite to a startup for this credit union, that whatever the cost is going to cost the housing authority is paid back. That's built into the figures. I just don't think it's a good idea to put it in the buildings. So how can we, the board and the ED, accommodate you where it doesn't create all these factors? We don't have any, there's no power, nobody has control over anybody's behavior or activity or whatever's going to jump off. And it's too costly to try to figure out or try to be ahead of stuff that's not our lifestyle. So the point is, how do we assist you, this bank, that's going to benefit low income, moderate income folks in the city of Trenton to get it started, that will work for a win-win for the residents and a win-win for the board and the administration. And it's something, it's gotta be, it's right now we not against it, but we just don't see where you putting it in the senior building or putting it within the vicinity. How can we take one of these houses here that's right near, because we have the, what do you call that, SSF, what Christy Huff is doing, the rehabbing of houses or something like that. How can we assist you when we get paid back? It's like a loan to get you started and working. And it's all legit. It doesn't come back. Because the questions that I submitted to you was more so that this doesn't come back on the housing authority. So I'm not saying it is. Please don't explain it. I'm just saying we got to come up with a plan that is going to work and how we can assist this endeavor, this project, this bank. I mean, it sounds all good. It sounds like great possibilities, but the problem we're having is where you want to have it located, and two, we're not interested in having a credit union in every one of our properties. That I'm just telling you straight up, because that's just not, not viable.
There's two responses I have to what you're saying. And it's the same question that's come up on several occasions. It's about the location. I have to explain to you why that location was selected. Please let me elaborate. This is a low-income credit union, and I'll try to be brief. This, what we're applying for is designation as a low-income credit union, and there's federal criteria for achieving that designation. One of them is that you have to be addressing people of a certain economic level. All right. That's how you get designated low-income credit union. And that's based on the average income of the community where you're located. Well, guess what? The average income in the community you're located winds up at Oakland and Hall. Because you have housing authority projects on 3 sides. All 3 of those, in order to qualify to live there, you have to be low income. So the average income at that census tract is based on census tracts within the city of Trenton that have the low income designation. And that's the major reason why. It's not that you're just trying to find a good spot that would be convenient for everybody. It's that in order to be a low income credit union, the income level in the census tract where you're located has
Mr. Ward, you did
qualify.
explain that.
Right.
So can we find a house that is vacated or boarded up that we can turn that's in that vicinity that can be used outside of the properties that the residents can get to? It's not on the property of the housing authority properties, but it's connected somehow. Or should we buy it? That's what I'm trying to say. How can the housing authority assist you with loans to repay to get you started, that you can be in that vicinity but not exactly on the properties?
Well, like I said, this and that design is being designed for the benefit of housing authority residents. That's this is for mainly. And so the way that we accomplish that is taking the business to them instead of to have them come to us. That's the reason why we want to locate it where they are rather than the other way around. Because one of the issues is transportation. Most people don't have transportation.
Yes,
Ms. Green had a question, and I
So-
just want to answer it. I'm sorry, Mr. Gentry, I'll just be as quick as I can.
Okay, we can't answer this question because this is probably a Christie question. So I was just thinking, because I like the idea, but I don't like the location. I
None
agree
of
with
us
both commissioners.
wish it was better.
Could we incorporate this idea into our redevelopment plan with the choice grant? Because I'm like, in the choice grant, we're talking about redeveloping low-income areas. So could that be an entity, a part, like a black bank?
We are in
In the choice
favor
grant?
of collaborating with the Trenton Housing Authority Board, any like-minded organization that wants to, and we're certainly open to any suggestion so that we can move forward. We are
So-
not set in stone, but there a lot of work has gone into what we've produced thus far. It's not like we just decided these things. We spent a lot of time talking with the management here and looked all around, and we've actually done that work to figure it all out.
Okay.
And this is why we wound up where we are. But your idea of using it as part of the
Yeah,
development,
because
100%.
so can we just allow Christie, that I'll connect with Ms. Huff to see if that could be incorporated in the plan, because if it could, then maybe we can do it. And then you can get what you want and we can get what we
Well,
want
this is
too.
really not about me, it's about the community.
Exactly, and I think we do need a black bank, but in a senior citizen, I'm just thinking about somebody creating an idea of robbing the bank and somebody grandma and grandpa out there. It's just,
And I hear you.
not, it's
But-
a
but
little
part-
scary a little
The
bit.
expense of, the major expense of outfitting this office would be the setting up the plexiglass windows. So they'll be secured, and it's not sitting in an office that anybody can walk in and rob. Of course, it'll have security features, cameras, and all those features. And you have to come inside the building, which is already controlled about who can get in and out of the building. So there are built-in security features as well as plexiglass. Because, by the way, it's only open 3 days a week.
Okay, so
So
can
it's
we
not a
just,
7-day operation.
can you
But
just
I
allow
thank you
us
for
to
your
figure out
suggestion.
if that's possible?
I'd love to
And that-
continue that
Mr.
dialogue.
Ward.
Yes, sir.
I think what we need to do is stay on the focus of the idea of will we do up or down in terms of going over there. All the other ideas, we can bring them in at any given time. So in a minute, we're gonna call for a vote, but before we call for a vote, there's something out, as Commissioner Weldon said, I'd like to say something. It's easy, and I agree, it's easy to say that the corner's bad. There is some division between where the credit union will go and the corner. But it's like any other bad neighborhood. If you want to change it, start development in it. And that starts to move the bad elements out. So I'm in favor of the project because it's the beginning of an opportunity for some development. She's been in Trenton since '90. I was here a long time before '90.
She's younger.
You came in '53. My point is, and I have seen the city drag for a long period of time. Today we're in a unique opportunity to make some decisions that bring change. Change does not necessarily come like a good meal on a platter. Sometimes you have to absorb some things to work your way to where you want to go, but you have to start somewhere.
Yes, sir.
To me, it's a phenomenal start in a bad community. Look at Killer Homes, what they used to call Killer Homes.
Yes, sir.
Used to hang out over there. Look at it now.
Yes, sir.
That all happened through development. Start development, small process, and work your way up. They go into banks in good communities, so-called good communities. They decide to rob and they go into banks. Things happen anytime, anywhere, all the time. That is no reason for us to do what we always do and deny us an opportunity to grow. We have to look behind that old thinking, be willing to embrace some new thinking and try something. Because we don't always sit in a position to make a decision that brings change in our community. It's easy to sit back and say, well, what the city's not doing, what this one's not doing now is in your lap. What you gonna do? That's my statement. And with that, I'd like to have a motion to, what's the motion for the credit union to be able to negotiate with the director?
No, that's
About-
not what we're doing. We already voted on that. The question is, the question should surround, he's here presenting to give us the opportunity I mean, for us to decide if it's going to be located within that square miles or wherever those 3 sections you just mentioned. Isn't that what he's talking about? 'Cause
Yes.
that's the issue.
No,
And
let
I
me be clear,
suggested
my
that-
understanding, while we're here, I'm representing the Board of Incorporated for the
Go in
credit.
that building.
We are here simply to negotiate. Where it's located at the end of the day, that would be product of the negotiation. So we're not trying to say this has to be the place, or we don't want to do it. We're simply saying we're negotiating with the housing authority to reach a happy medium. So we're not talking about, that's the location we have identified, but that's not to say we're set in stone based on Tansy's suggestion that we will be willing to locate in a way that wherever it works, meets all the criteria for low-income credit union, is accessible to the residents of the housing authority, and meets all the criteria that we have to meet as we are in the chartering process. So I'm flexible, and I'm open to new ideas and new approaches.
Give us a minute, excuse me, Mr. Truelove, could you summarize that into the motion, please?
Well,
What
I
you
was gonna
just
say, but before I do that though, we're already negotiating, is that correct? That's what we have been doing.
No, that's why I suggested that I
So if
speak
we're
with
not,
Ms.
then-
Huff
Okay.
to see, because we already have a redevelopment plan in action, to see if we can involve the Black Bank into the redevelopment plan.
Okay.
But I would have to speak with Ms. Huff and our consultants to see if that's,
So there's no vote?
so we can't vote,
There's
because
no-
we gotta
That's
figure out
why I
to
asked
see.
that question.
Because
don't know if it's
the reason why,
appropriate to
Mr.
have-
Ward, I
It's not
suggested
unique.
that is because I know that the board, we have no problem with the idea, we just have a problem with the location. So being that we're already in the process of having a redevelopment plan, it just came to mind to see if we can add that to a plan that we already have in motion.
Certainly.
But I would have to speak with Ms. Huff and our consultants to see if we could put that in that plan, so can we
I'm
table
happy
it?
to accommodate.
So the consensus will be just to continue the dialogue.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Then move on.
Yeah, so the minutes should just reflect that the board by consensus has agreed that they should continue the dialogue with the credit union.
In the
There'll be
redevelopment?
another report at some point, and then perhaps,
And bring it back to the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
No, I was, make a point of order. It says presentation from Trenton Community Credit Union. It didn't say anything about a
About a vote.
resolution or a vote, so.
Okay, with that, let's move on, and I'd like to thank you.
So
Mr.
I
Ward,
can
for
report
coming
to our board
Yes,
that the Trenton Housing Authority would like to continue our dialogue.
yes.
Okay. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Ward.
Thank you. I'd like to acknowledge at this time, Councilwoman Jesse Edwards.
I'm just gonna move to the front.
My thermostat broke. We have approval of the regular minute, motion for approval of the regular minute meetings for September 13th.
So moved.
A second.
Second. Do we have a roll call on that?
Oh, wait a minute, we're approving the minutes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, there's some-
September 13th.
So,
We're having a motion to do it.
Okay. And then there'll be discussion.
I first, okay, whatever.
Okay, so let's go. We have a motion, have any points?
Yes, there's some changes.
No, we gotta do the motion. We did
There's
the
a
motion.
motion
It's been
and
moved.
second.
It's been moved in second.
It's been moved
Now
and
vote.
second.
Yeah,
Without
question.
question.
Right, yeah.
On a few of these resolutions, the approval for the minutes of the regular meeting held on June 14th, I don't recall abstaining, I thought I said no, no, and most of the resolutions that you have me here for abstain, I said no. The one for 2323, residents of the Housing Authority, City of Trenton, approving disbursements for July, I said no, not abstained. The resolution 2324, residents of the Housing Authority, City of Trenton, approving disbursements for August, and I said no, I didn't abstain. Resolution 2325, Resolution of Housing Authority, City of Trenton, authorizing executive director to continue to utilize the service of 4 general contractors. I said no. Resolution 2326, Resolution of Housing Authority, City of Trenton, designating Property Resources Corporation. I said no. Resolution 2327, Resolution of Housing Authority, City of Trenton, authorizing executive director to enter into an agreement with WRT Planning. I said no. Resolution 2328, Resolution of Housing Authority, City of Trenton, designating the Genesis Companies LLC as a conditional private, development. I said no, I did not abstain. Resolution 2329, Resolution of City of Trenton, Resolution of Housing Authority, City of Trenton, rescinding Resolution 3131 HUD application. I think I said no on that as well. Comments, Commissioner Garrett, where it says public comment, commissioner's comments for that period. I haven't received the REACT reports or the relocation plan. She asked Mr. Glover. I asked Mr. Glover, not Mr. Glover, I also asked about the councils, the residential councils. I think you bill each unit for each council for them to be able to operate. It wasn't mentioned in here at all. And that's it on the regular meeting. And then the executive session, there was some changes also on there as well.
We are in that, we're not
No,
in that.
we're not there.
Okay. I move that we approve the minutes with said changes as Commissioner Garrett.
Take one of those.
I second it.
Mr. Legal on that. You have to check the tape, or we just?
Well, I mean, you
change it
can,
out?
I mean, she could change it, you could change her vote today if it was different, or you could check the tape, so it's entirely.
That's her field, let's change it to it. Come on.
In order to check the tape, you would have to put down, I guess, all
No, I
the
say
ones
check
that
the
you're saying.
tape, I said that we were advised by council that if that she wants to change it today, she can, or if that's how she feels then, and said no, I said, I'll amend the motion to say, let's
check her change.
let her change her vote, and let's accept the minutes with her changes.
Yes,
You accept that?
yes, I accept
Okay,
that.
we'll amend the minutes.
I motion, he motioned, I seconded.
Okay. So
That motion would
for,
supersede the prior, so.
Correct.
okay, so just for clarity, you wanna record, it's a no vote on everything.
Yeah, I could have sworn I said no on everything. I didn't say abstain.
Okay. So make that change.
Okay.
And also, I don't have access again to the portal for the commissioners, so I couldn't check it myself because I don't have access to it. I haven't had access to it for 2 years.
So could Amy send her a link?
Yeah.
Cause I
They
didn't have a
have,
problem.
and it hasn't changed. I have not been able to get it. We have changed my password at least 3 or 4 times, and I still have not been able to get access to it. It doesn't it comes up empty.
How about you?
So when you log in, nothing's there, or you can't log in at all?
I can log in, nothing is there.
Okay. So,
Yeah,
So you have IT,
Yep.
yeah, see what's going on. Okay.
we have Amy give you a call tomorrow.
Yeah, Amy's been working with me with it. And to no avail, nothing has changed.
Any other questions?
no,
With that roll call.
Commissioner Garrett,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
yes,
Commissioner Lopez. Abstain. Commissioner Raines,
Yes.
Commissioner Weldon,
Yes.
Chairman Gentry.
Yes. Okay, we have a motion for the approval of minutes of the executive session, September 13th, 2023.
Go ahead.
my motion.
Second.
If there are changes, then they would have to be done not in an open meeting, I think that's.
Correct.
Right.
That's correct. You can't even have a question on that.
No, so if you have, my suggestion is this.
I do have changes.
What I would suggest is you send those changes to the executive director, and then if we have to convene a separate executive session next time to look at those and consider that, we would do that at the next meeting.
So I'd like to revise the motion to say pen approval to Commissioner Grant sending changes to the board secretary.
special meeting, there was one, huh? September 27th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? No questions being heard, roll call.
Commissioner Garrett,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez, Commissioner Raines,
Aye.
Commissioner Weldon,
Yes.
Chairman Gentry.
Yes. Go to the second.
Yeah, the only thing I have today is just to update the board on our discussions with the school board with respect to the land swap that we proposed for Junior One and the Battle Monument site for 2.9 acres on Donnelly Homes. So we have been, those discussions have proceeded. We actually did get the city involved, and the city offered up 2 or 3 sites for the school board to look at as well, to give them an opportunity to look at. So the school board is actually in the process of doing their due diligence on the 2 or 3 sites that the city offered as well. And once they're done with their due diligence on that, we'll come back to the table to finalize. So apparently, what it looks like, if in fact the school board is comfortable with the sites the city offered, and the city can get that through its process, then they wouldn't look for the property on Donnelly Homes, and we can proceed with the original plan with Donnelly Homes and the Junior One site. So if they're not able to come up with a property from the city, we're actually looking to proceed with Donnelly Homes swap for the Junior One site and the Battle Monument site that's on Warren Street. So in any event,
I'm not understanding what Battle Monument site.
the Battle Monument site that we're referring to as the Battle Monument site is a vacant piece of land that sits adjacent to the Battle Monument on
Where the
Warren
shrimp
Street.
boat used to sit.
Where?
Where the shrimp boat used to sit.
Okay, I think that's finished off by Henry Austin,
Right.
Health Center.
Yes. So,
And what are we gonna put there?
well, the plan to put there would be a 4-story residential building with commercial on the first floor. That would be the plan for there. If we're not able to get that site, we still proceed with our program, but we won't maximize points in the application. By getting that site and putting those additional units in, we actually do additional market rate units in addition to the affordable units throughout the development, so we maximize the points on the application. So if we're not able to get that site, we still have a program that's in the area of 600 units, but we won't get the maximum points for that particular category. It could take us over the top. So like I said, we've had 2 or 3 discussions now with the school board representation, the superintendent and the attorney, and the mayor, the chief of staff on the line. So I'm hopeful that we can work it through and that we'll be successful in getting what we need.
Can I ask you a question? So what are the 3 options that the city is offering the school?
I don't know, I'm right off the top of my head. It was Father Rocco Park site was one of them. Next to the Father Rocco Park, there's a vacant parcel that the city's dealing with foreclosing on. There was a couple sites in South Trenton, but they connected. And like I said, the school board is going to do their due diligence with the city and see if it's appropriate for them.
And the county, based on what Mayor Buciera and Mr. Palmer was speaking out about at that board meeting, because I was under the impression it was going to be with the county, or is the county involved with selecting these sites?
Yeah, I don't think right now that we won't have time for that. But the fact that there's an election in November, I don't think that we're not going to have time to work anything out with the county on that.
Okay.
That's it on me. With that,
If there's any questions.
any other questions?
Is this dealing with a resolution?
No, resolution.
Commissioner Raines.
So we have the grant deadline is the 6th of December.
December 11th.
So I know it was early December.
Well, so if you do put the plan together as you have it now, you could go back and just say there is some adjustments, am I correct?
No.
Oh, so once you submit the plan, you have to follow through
That's the
based
plan,
on,
that's the plan.
that's the contract is what you're saying? That-
That's the plan that's gonna be scored, yes.
Oh, they're
Yeah, I
scoring
mean,
it based on
in
the,
the future, if something
okay.
if something changes in the future, 2, 3 years down the line, yeah, we can make adjustments. As long as,
Like what?
well, like, for instance, if we put the swap in the plan, and then the county, like you're saying, next year, the county comes up with 3 acres for the school board, then the school board could get their land, and we could use Downey Homes.
Oh, as long as
readjust
they
our-
equals
Yes.
exchange, is
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's just different location. Okay.
Okay. Is that resolutions? Resolutions 2331 is Mr. Richard Squire Tibbs.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, how are you, sir?
First resolution here is 2331. This resolution authorizes the approval for disbursements for September 2023 in the amount of $554,771.11. It is my recommendation that the Board of Commissioners adopt this resolution approving the disbursements for the month of September 2023.
We have a motion on resolution 23, 31.
So moved.
A second.
Any questions on this resolution?
I have questions. I noticed that it's a lot of garbage and trash removal. Could you don't have to go into depth. I have been on the grounds, Downey Homes grounds, and I've seen trash and garbage bags not moved to the dumpster, but is that what this all is about? Because there's a lot of, and I like this check register,
Yeah.
because it really explains and shows me how the money is moving and it's how you're billing the expenses. So I really thank you for this. This is great.
Yeah, so as you know, the reports look a little bit differently for the disbursements. We're going through an implementation of a new reporting tool, which allows a little bit more in-depth analysis in the finances. Yardi is the name of the tool there. So as you see the disbursements laid out, the way they're laid out, we kind of show you how they're divided amongst the properties. So we gave you that detail, but we try to also give you the summary of things as well. In the detail. But as far as the trash goes, I believe that's related to some of the vacant unit terms and things along those lines, the processing.
Oh,
that we
moving
can-
stuff
so
out of that
as we
part.
start to move those processes along, we kind of just see some of that, as you can see in the details there. And it kind of links back to the sites. You'll see how it ties back into each one of the sites.
Okay, this is a question, don't go away, from Mr. Garrett. When I was at the governor's conference, because there's been a lot of complaints from the tenants in regards to the exterminating, and I ran into someone who does, that's their business, and I was explaining to him some of the main comment a lot of residents were making about the jail, and you know, you have heard it as well at some of those residential council meetings. But make a long story short, what I was told that the Corbett exterminating is doing this stuff, what they're doing exactly right, that that gel, they should be putting gel periodically in spaces throughout the apartment, but one of the things the residents would say is that when the exterminators come in, that more bugs come out. And he was informing me that that's what's supposed to happen. So the bugs are supposed to come and eat that stuff and take it back to wherever they're nesting and then kill wherever the bugs are. And they said they usually disappear within 2 or 3 weeks. So my suggestion, because tenants are buying their own stuff and they're they're outraged because they don't want to see bugs. But I would like to know if there can be something where they come out and talk to the residents, or we type something up explaining that so they can understand what the process is, because I don't think they really know what the process, because I didn't know. All I know is if somebody, a exterminator came in and exterminated and I see more bugs, I'm thinking that this stuff ain't working, and that's what I'm hearing. So he did validate that. He said, yeah, that's what they're supposed to do. He says, but I didn't know that either. So, not to hold on that. You had some IT parts. Could you, a lot of replacement parts for computers and laptops? Are these outdated computer and laptops?
Well, no, that's as you can see, that cost is our IT cost, but it's divided up, that's how we allocate it back out. So it's not that there's necessarily parts, but it's just that how we divide the cost, or how it's,
But should you call it parts though? Cause that to me, cause when I said computer parts, okay, so I can say that's fine, but, I'm sorry, I gotta turn this off. My point is, it was misleading, because I think if somebody else looked at this, they would be like, what the heck? You could have built computers for what you're paying, but I thank you for it, so you did. Maybe we ought to use another current, something to dealing with
description.
IT.
Yeah, so we're still working
description.
on the tailoring of the description and how the report comes out.
Okay.
But with the new system, that allows us to customize that a little bit, so I'll take that into consideration.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be nitpicky, but because when I saw it, I was like, oh my God. Okay, so other than that, should a policy be established for new lease? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, so, the garbage and stuff is, all these is from vacant units that you removed. That's what you're saying. This is not from dealing with cleaning the grounds and getting garbage and stuff like that, or it's a combination of.
It's a combination of all. I would have to know specifically which cost you're talking about exactly. What page are you on there?
It's just the trash removal. You don't have to go, it's just the trash removal. It's just a lot of it. So that's why I was like, oh my God. But other than that, I think it's great. Thank you. This is the first time it was presented. So this was great to see how it's built out and how it's broken up. And, other than that, let me make sure. I apologize. Okay, so we're now on the PH plan. Okay, so that's it. Thank you.
Any other questions? No other questions, roll call.
Commissioner Guerrero,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez. Yes. Commissioner Raines,
Aye.
Commissioner Weldon,
Yes.
Chairman Gentry.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. 2332.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Resolution 2332 is a resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Trenton approving and authorizing its Executive Director to submit the annual plan for fiscal year 2024 to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Every year we are required by HUD to submit an annual plan in accordance with Section 511 of the Quality Housing and Work Responsibility Act. We had a public meeting and a RAD board meeting, which is a resident advisory board meeting in September, to discuss the details of the plan, all of the capital improvements we want to do this year. Also, we talked about Choice Neighborhood and we talked about Fraser Court. Everyone seemed to be pleased with the plan. The plan meets all the requirements of the Department of Urban Housing and Urban Development. It is recommended that the Board of Commissioners approve this plan and adopt this resolution.
You have a motion?
Questions?
You have a motion for resolution 2332?
So moved. Second.
Second. Any questions on this resolution?
I don't have a question on it, but I was not, I didn't hear. I wasn't, privy to these meetings, so I'm not, it's nothing, I wasn't privy to it, so I didn't hear it. I didn't hear the presentations. I don't know what's going on. I got a resolution in front of me. I was told that only a small number of commissioners could be there, and like I said, I didn't have to be meeting on it, but at least could have been listening and, hearing this before I present it. I don't know what's going on, so, you know, I'm not going to, vote on it. But the one thing I will ask, I would like to say, there's, why no revisions for, it says revisions of existing PH plan elements. So, these are policies that they're speaking of on page 2 of 8, isn't that correct? And you're right, there probably isn't any changes, because I don't recall any changes, but I haven't seen any of these policies, except, I haven't seen any of them. So, again, you know, I would like to get a copy of them, so I can look at them. Far as the activities, new activities, designated housing for elderly. Okay, so it says that the PH intend to undertake any new activity related to the following and the PH current fiscal year. Again, I wasn't aware that we were going to turn the senior buildings into RAD, so shouldn't that be a yes? Because I didn't really know until I read, I think last year's booklet, that we were making some changes. So, you know, and the business plan, a lot of that, like I said, I wasn't aware of it. So, you know, I only know it when it comes up here, so I'm not understanding why it wasn't changed, that there is some changes. And Residents Advisory Board comments, you know, I kind of interact with some of the people on the Residential Advisory Board, and they're not, again, as I shared with you last month, you know, the issues are they feel that, you know, stuff is happening, they're hearing it, but they're not really having the details. So, you know, you say no, but they should, I mean, I don't know, it just seems like this is just a template and none of this stuff is, it should be happening. I think it looks better, showing that there's some involvement with the residents, because that's why we're here, is because of the residents. Challenging elements, if any elements of the PHA plan is challenged. Was it challenged? Because I challenge it all the time, and I don't see no comment. It said no. Let me go on. I think that is it, because a lot of this stuff I've heard before from attachment A, but like I said, a lot of this I didn't even know until I read it, so I wasn't aware of it. And I've been asking for information. Oh, this is a good one. Here it says the schedule of findings and questions of costs. And I know this was one of the findings that was discussed with the auditor, but it didn't break it down like it does in here. I don't recall. I know there was some files and stuff like that. Very good. But
Well, just to, so you have the audit, and we'll bring the auditor before the
young
board next.
people do that.
There weren't any findings on question costs. All those findings for last year were cleared.
Correct.
The only one finding that we had this year was that essentially you have to check vendors to make sure they're not debarred before you contract with them. And
That's
we
correct.
checked them,
We did.
but we didn't have
We didn't save that,
we
that
didn't save the
evidence of that
documentation.
wasn't saved. Yeah.
Right, that's what it says here. That's what it says. And it also says, the authorities are able to provide, is this the thing about the provide evidence supporting, dealing with procurement policy and regulations too, supporting compliance, that's what you, that includes it as well?
Yes.
And then it also goes into, which I didn't know anything about this, the procurement, okay, at least that's good, okay. Progress report was fine. And that's it. Thank you. Oh, one more thing. It says Clifton Anderson as the chairperson.
Yeah, that was a mistake on that one.
Okay, so
That's
y'all
corrected,
so you
yeah.
corrected it. Okay.
With that, any other questions? No other questions being heard, roll call.
Commissioner Guerrero,
I'm going to abstain because, as I said, I didn't attend the meetings.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes, I actually do have a question.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So if you have the answer, but in the
I think that requires, if we had any kind of findings or any kind of investigation on affirmative fair housing, then we're required to complete that, but we haven't had any, so that's why we're not required to complete it.
Okay. Understood. That was the question. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're on there.
Commissioner Green?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Raines? Commissioner Weldon?
Yes.
Chairman Gentry?
Yes.
Okay.
At this time, is there any new business? No new business, let's move on to public session.
Hello everyone, my name is Emma Jamison and I live in senior housing over on Oakland Street. Which all of you know, I came to prepare to say something more so than what I'm saying. Yes, I came here to say more, to say more than what I intended to say, but as I was coming over here, I decided to just deviate that and just say what I have to say. What you all don't know about senior housing, okay, is how they're living over there, okay? How we're living over there. It's nothing but corruption. They're taking the money. And I'm saying this because if they can prove to you that they're not, and you can go and they can take you and visibly see what they said that they've done, the percentage of intellectual tenants that live in senior housing is very, very, very low. You know it, and I know it. Individuals that live there, the majority, they know they can't write. They can't write, you know. They keep the ratio to where as though they have enough to do what they have to do and disregard what we want and what we want and what we need to do. The housing situations and their apartments and how they're living, we're living like are living like animals. I mean, I'm not living like no animal, but I was here at December the 17th meeting 2022 when I was complaining about my bathroom, if whoever do remember. I appreciate by me getting back to you, the guy,
Mr.
Garrett. You know, I'm satisfied, but I'm not pleased. But it took a lot of pressure off of me, psychologically. Even my psychiatrist even noticed it, because the standards that they're living, they shouldn't have to live like that. Algie, I understand where you're coming from, but in senior housing, where you would want to put that, and who they're housed over there, you know, the ideas are good, but me, I'll go against it too. I'm just saying, because you have to know the inside, not what the outside, what you see when you come in the building and on the common areas. You know, and in the hallways where it's clean and blah, this and that, you know. I don't come here to ask questions because you don't get no answers, okay? And Mr. Godfrey, December the 17th meeting, when I would put my complaints about me and mine, I was never addressed it from there on, okay? Why? I don't know who's pocketing the money, but somebody's pocketing the money, and seniors are not supposed to live the way they're living to be for it to be the capital of New Jersey. I mean, the capital of New Jersey, the city of Trenton, and the tenants. What they want is mainly the maintenance. How they, you know, it's a shame that they don't have ovens that don't work, and they've been going for months and months. And some don't have stoves, some don't have hot water. My neighbor, she had water dripping out of her faucet like this. I said, well, how long has that been? She said, been here forever. I said, well, how can you wash dishes? I mean, it just like be like small things. Okay. I guess excited, you know, so whatever. But anyhow, when I moved in here, I lived in the gut for 7 years. The first 5 years I came home every other weekend for 5 years. When I left there, my apartment, I came back the same way. I moved into housing. I moved into senior housing. I went away, which I do down in Maryland to my grandkids and watch my kids, whatever. I come back. I said, well, why is all this stuff disappearing out of my house and my apartment? I don't even be here. Oh, and there's nothing wrong with it. First day I moved in here, pop the garden, and the first thing I would do is get the lock changed. I said, for what? All right. So this has been going on year after year. So 2 months ago, I said, I know someone's coming in my apartment, and I'm going to see what the reason is. I mean, once my addiction, I got like slow down somewhere where I could think. All right. I said, if this is a double bolt lock, how the hell are they getting into my apartment? So I put my key in, opened the door, put my key in, and turned it all the way, like, the bolt came out like that, right? Okay. So I took it out and I decided just to push it back, see if it went back in. I went around the other side of my door and I took the latch and turned it, and it went all the way, right? Now my neighbor showed me, because I know she's a professional thief. She said, you can get in there. She said, I want to show you, because this must be before they must have fixed my lock, right? She said she had got this little car, what you call a charge car, and she went in and slipped that mug open. So I have 3 professional thieves on my floor. I know them for a fact. I know them for years. Okay, so you can't tell me no different. So when I mentioned it, well, I think Pacheco was coming down the hallway, and Green, you seen it because I told you to come upstairs. But I found out what was going on, where you can take where my key was, the bolt wasn't going completely all the way across, and you slip something in there and it go. And I know I'm not crazy because I know my clothes, I know how I live. Regardless of what I do or how I do it, I live a certain lifestyle. I live a certain lifestyle. I know when somebody's in it. You can sit on my bed. You can't even make it up right. You can't even wipe the way the creases in it because you're gonna do it wrong. Okay, you can't even pick up something and call yourself putting it back the same way I put it because I can tell. It's like you have to know how they're living there. Not only do you have to go in and see it. Emma, this is wrong, my part. I said, well, what do you do? I went downstairs to the office. I said, baby, you doing the wrong thing. There's nothing being done. Do you ever get back to me?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I come on to my bathroom when I was complaining about my bathroom. You talking about I wouldn't get names because of
Ain't your bathroom done?
and then when the paint, when I finished the
Ms.
paint
Jameson,
job.
you emailed me your bathroom was done within a month, a complete new bathroom.
It wasn't. Let me tell you one thing, Mr. Godfrey. Mr. Garrett. I didn't get a complete bathroom, okay? They go and they subcontract with these subcontractors. They get the workers from off the street to labor, because I know them personally, okay? Then they want to put you in a hotel for 2 days because you can't stay in it because they're doing the contracting, Why I gotta leave and go to a motel where it's better in our building? So why you being in a hotel? Give me $50 for what? They're in the bathroom. 80% of my time I be in my bedroom. So I had nothing to do with that. So it's like, what did I say?
You were talking about the bathroom and it wasn't
Okay.
fully remodeled.
So I got the picture. I took the before pictures, after pictures, on the pictures. I got it all. Okay. The locks too. I got it on video. We'll go. Okay. Don't worry about it. Okay. They gave me a tub. I don't know if it's brand new or not, but it looks much better than what I had before they started. Okay. The floor. I see the patchwork. You can tell I'm professionals. Because someone came in there and asked for their credentials. They couldn't show it. Maybe the subcontractor could, if he was there. No. But I wasn't giving them the opportunity to stay in my apartment all night so they can sit around on your stuff, didn't cover nothing up. If I didn't cover my stuff, because we didn't have a yard sale, if I didn't cover my stuff up later on that day, it would have been worse than what it is. So, who's pocketing the money? I don't know. When the handle on my toilet broke, and I picked it up, it was plastic, right? How the hell you gonna put some plastic stuff? Oh, it was replaced with a metal piece. So 2 months later.
Ms. Jameson?
Yeah.
So, Ms.
And my bathroom was not fully renovated at all, okay? All right. And I'm glad I did stay in my apartment, because when I opened my pantry door, I seen a hole like this that goes into the bathroom because it has a screen or something in the walls or something. I don't know before they put the cement blocks, this and that. And I went in the bathroom, I'm just trying to say like, well, what? Why are they gonna put a hole there and, you know, bang it out? And so by the time I came back, even before they left, they patched it all up. Okay. Thank you for the sink, the toilet that I didn't, that's why I appreciate it. The tile wasn't done, they did no painting. But I said I was satisfied, but I'm not pleased. So it wasn't a full renovation. Who's getting the money? Y'all know who's getting the money.
Okay, excuse me, Mr. Leggett, if I can say, Mr. Garrett, can he go over and look at Mrs. Jameson's bathroom?
They don't come and look at nothing that's been completed or nothing that's been renovated, nothing that's been fixed. Nobody come in there after they left. Nobody really came in, but I think one time somebody did come in, I can see it there.
So, Mr. Leggett, would you be able to check Mrs. Jameson's, and how long would you think it would take for you to go over to look at her?
How long that happens and stuff. That is the director's call. So how long it takes.
Okay,
Send
Mr.
somebody to do
Garrett,
it.
how long is it going to take?
You don't have the personnel.
I'll
Thank you,
try to check
Mr.
it in the next
Leggett.
24 hours, but this is the first time hearing about this.
Mike, you wouldn't know the best. I know they laid it all on you. I don't know why, but you know,
We
I
spoke,
didn't
we
say
spoke,
it.
we spoke, I
Right.
spoke to Ms. Jameson out front, she told me everything was fine except for the door. The door to the bathroom was swelling, that was the only issue she had told me.
That was my main issue, but that's not a fully a renovation project that was done. But it was some kind of renovation that had been done. That's what I'm saying. Okay. As far as painting my apartment on a list to be painted, I don't want. Why is it on a list to be painted? No, you didn't tell me that list did. She said it's on the list.
Okay, so could you make sure that you have Miss Jameson's number? I'll appreciate it if you can call her, if it's okay, Mr. Garrett, before you go over there, so she knows he's going to be coming over there and looking at the bathroom. Okay, because you know there's complaints that tenants doesn't know, are not aware beforehand before workers come over, or as right now the director.
Right, because I didn't know. I know Mr. Garrett said Ms. Walker would be getting in touch with you soon about your bathroom. That Monday after that Tuesday after Labor Day, quarter after somebody knocking on my door, and I hear a key coming in, and I'm saying, what was that? My chain was on. Oh, we come here to do your bathroom. Oh, when? Okay. I'm complaining about my bathroom, so I won't let them do it. But give me a half hour so I can just clean out, you know, my bathroom.
Right.
They won't mess it up right.
Ms. Walker,
Then Ms. Walker gonna call me an hour later and tell me that I have to go to a hotel because they had a contract with the housing authority, the contract. Say what?
It took us at least 3 weeks to get the tub, so you know.
Is it a new tub? Oh, okay. Well, it's chipping off for this.
Okay, Mr. Jameson.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay?
Thank you.
You have any
But
other-
you need somebody to come in there and check on the tenants that don't have stoves and ovens that don't work. Okay? Filters that don't be changed. People that die, the body that's dead, and then you can't, and then you gotta eventually all the germs and bacteria going through the vents. That is it, and that is a health hazard. And that is something that I do know.
Okay, Mr.
Thank you
Jameson.
so much.
Thank you.
So regardless of what you say, senior housing ain't living all what y'all think it is.
Okay, you just told me.
Oh, don't let them get you in the mix.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Rion Uzi. Hello, everybody. Speaking about credit, I've been here 12 years. And the credit from your rent is supposed to go to the TD Bank. Every year my credit come back same price, $1.39. Where's the credit at?
You say credit, I'm sorry.
you talking about security.
Security.
That's the escrow.
Yeah, it goes to the escrow account. It's an escrow.
But it come back the same price though. Every time it's home.
I'll take a look at it. If look at your account, it's all set up with TD Bank.
The credit gonna build up.
It goes in.
Where's the money going to? The credit gonna build up.
It's escrow, and it's like 1%. It's very minimal, but it does add up.
Well, anyway, the monument. Why would you want to take the monument down for? It has a sentimental value. I've been here 66 years. That monument divides the 4 sections of Trenton.
Yeah, we don't wanna tear the monument, we refer to the site as the battle
we
monument
call-
site, where the monument is all a part of our plan. That history and, you know.
But
We
it's
call
a
the
historical
area
site.
the
It
battle
can't be-
monument.
it
The
can't be-
the
it
monument's
can't
not
be
coming
taken
down.
Oh, I
We
see
named
what
the
you're saying.
area over.
We wanna build around it.
We're building around it, so we
Highlight.
call it the battle monuments area, basically. The monument's not coming down, because that's our key point.
Come on, y'all going too
That's
far.
5 point, you know?
Now, again, why are you guys coming out to inspect for bed bugs?
Do you have a bed bug problem?
No, I don't. I got a flyer stating that they come out to inspect for bed bugs. Expect for the cockroaches.
So normally if you have a problem, you would have to let them know and then.
Everybody got a flyer yesterday.
Right,
Okay.
because that's our attempt to not wait till somebody has a
Has
problem,
it.
so we do it by
We-
hand,
we
we do
do
it.
it.
Proactive.
Okay.
What about the roaches then? Now you guys state no bombing, no fuming the apartment up. Bull. I bomb mines. Do not come to my apartment. Go in the basement. Mighty Father, I bought bombs. I had bed bug bombs from the last time we got the stuff was coming around here. Since I bombed, I haven't seen none. Me and the guy downstairs did the same thing under me.
Because people have various different medical issues.
I have one too. I have one too, and I had to stay outside. I left my apartment for the whole day, and I came back that night, aired it out, and cleaned it out with a mask on my face, 2 of them.
That's what most complexes do, especially me having a newborn
But
baby.
housing don't allow you to fumigate the apartment, but I did anyway.
Okay, thank you for telling me.
I
Did it work?
Not y'all. Yeah, it worked. I'm gonna have one.
Okay, Ms. Uchi.
Now I'm not finished though.
Okay, good morning.
I want to speak this time because I was denied last time for speaking when I was up here. Remember?
He was.
Yeah.
No, you did speak last time.
Y'all hit the thing and said, according to Jeremy, some jump y'all said.
You spoke during public comments.
Yes, and she made a comment. I don't know her name. This
Commissioner Weldon made a comment
Whatever,
on the
whatever.
commissioner
Anyway,
comments, and you were
she
not
made a
allowed to
comment. She
speak
said,
during that time.
anyone who has a complaint about something in their house, something's wrong, put in a complaint.
Yes.
And I was getting ready to leave out this door.
Mm-hmm.
And when she said that, I came back to speak. And you guys took that hammer,
I did.
whoever,
That was.
and I could not speak because I do put in complaints.
Because you spoke during a public comment like you speaking now. You
But
see how we letting you
anytime
speak?
someone
And
make
when
a
she
statement
spoke
though,
during the commissioner comment, and
Yeah.
that was it. It wasn't for you to speak
and afterwards I want to comment on that comment though.
after the meeting.
Why couldn't I? I had
After
to
when the
speak.
meeting was adjourned, you could say what you want to say, but during
You
that
guys
time,
adjourned and told me to leave while I was being there,
because you had already spoke during the public.
so that I could speak again.
Ms. Uchi, do you have a concern, an issue inside your unit that you would like to express?
Yes, the bugs.
You can
I don't
express-
have it in
you
my
can-
apartment no more though, but it's still
We
there.
don't have, we don't have that issue. Do we have another issue that you'd like to express?
Everything, the rent, everything.
Nothing you can do about that, Ms. Uchi.
I think you need to put something in writing and go ahead and send it to
It's
us.
not gonna do any good. And I put him for, no it's not. I put him for, there was a vacant townhouse on Oliver, and I put him for a transfer. Because they're trying to move everybody out anyway. And I came to Miss Audrey, and she says to the guard out there, have her to put her number down and her name, and I'll call her. You put no number down, my number already in the system. But she never contacted me anyway. I never got transferred. And I have excuses from doctors. I go to specialists. I have one good lung, one bad lung. And I'm trying to find my own apartment now. Without
Out of
their help.
housing authority.
Without their help. I can't take it. And I told Audrey I was not going to a senior citizen building. I'm not going nowhere where I have to sign out like an inmate. Ask someone to tell my grandkids stay in there with me. I'm grown. No, I'm not. And if they don't leave at a certain time, they're going to come escort them out. Not my grandkids, you're not. I have 17 grandkids, no, you're not. If I want mine to stay, mine gonna stay. All of them, if I feel like it. I have 11 grands and 7 great grands, no. Housing don't do anything with the money. I don't see it. Where is it? As she said, where's the money going to? Don't try to knock me down, please don't.
I'm not trying to knock you down, man, but I am trying to run the meeting in an orderly manner to move it forward.
Well, I'm gonna ask you, where's the money going to? I don't see it.
Well, that's a heck of an accusation, but if the housing authority is playing games with the money, it'll come out in the audit. There's procedures around here to check on things like that. It'll come out in the audit, okay?
And one more question. Whose side are you guys on? The board? Are you on our side or administration side?
We have to address everything, not
We
a
gonna take
particular
sides.
side. We have to address everything. We have an obligation to the tenants as well as we have an obligation to the administration of the housing authority.
Well, today it seemed like you did a good job speaking for us because I guess other people are here. Man, ain't no time you knocking us down.
Okay, man. Thank you. Have any other complaints about your unit?
No, I'm thinking about the
Besides
board.
the
But
bus.
Shirley pays you guys real good. I know she do.
Who pays us?
Whoever she is, Shirley.
No, I took off for work
I
today.
need to go see her.
I took off for work.
I
I
haven't
used my
got the check.
PTO time
I got
to
to
be
get
about
that.
the board.
You've been
And
how
I've
many
been here
years?
for 3
You've
or
been
4
how many?
hours.
I've been here 66 years. Twin used to be a beautiful place one
I
time.
have shoes that old, Mr. Susie.
Don't worry about that.
Thank you.
But thank you anyway, man.
You're so rude to put a person out when they're speaking. You don't want to hear the truth. The truth hurts.
It's not hurting me.
Susie, we have to move the
Don't say
meeting.
anything
We
to
have to
nobody,
move the
okay?
meeting along, man.
Okay.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
What's your name for the record?
My name is Barbara Evans. And my question is directed to you, Mr. Garrett.
Mr. Garrett?
right here.
Oh, that's Mr. Garrett. Okay. I sent
We
you,
look alike.
You don't know Gary.
I don't know none of y'all but one. But anyway, I sent you a letter. You had to sign for it. You never called me. What my letter was about? My bathroom need a makeover. There is mold on my ceiling, coming down the side of my wall. The panel that's by the tub, it has a bulge in it. It has mold. You never called me. Why?
I don't know, Mr. Evans. I didn't sign for a letter though. I mean, it may be a letter that I have that if I haven't responded yet, I apologize. But I'll check my mail and check my folders and see what you got.
Okay, question number 2, I asked for a transfer. Ms. Walker told me there was no vacancies. I need a 2-bedroom on the first floor. My doctor do not want me walking steps.
Same here.
Where are you?
986 Suffolk. I'm in a house. I done fell down them steps once. And God forbid if I fall down there again and don't live.
I talked with Mr. Leggett and Ms. Walker about that situation.
And when will I get a phone call?
Well, talking to me now, usually what I do is just to show you my process. Usually if I get something like that, I give it to the appropriate people to follow up with.
And who was that?
That's, in this case, is Mr. Terrence Leggett, and for the transfer would be Ms. R.G. Walker.
Again, I asked, when will I get a phone call that someone is coming to my unit?
Is Terrence with?
He wants that.
Yeah, well.
Let's take a look. Yeah, let's take a look at it ASAP.
You'll call me today for what reason?
Is that Ms. Walker?
The process for the transfer.
Okay, right now I'm concerned about the mold in my bathroom that been there for 6 months.
Okay. So I will call you.
Can you coordinate that also?
Mr. Leggett will call you today.
Excuse me, what about my transfer? I don't get mine?
You're in line for a transfer, yes you are.
Ms. Evans, is there anything else besides the bathroom and the transfer for you?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Have a good one.
Would you anybody else on the list?
Anybody else on the list?
Don't nobody want to answer.
Well, let me go with you. I'm leaving.
Come on, let's go. Thank you.
Okay.
Is that it, Audrey?
Next is, Marshall? No. That's it. That's it.
All right, thank you.
Let's move on to commissioner comments. Commissioner Lopez, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. I'll try to be brief. First, I just wanted to commend both Jelani, Christie, and as well as all the other members involved in the conversations and in particular negotiations around Choice Neighborhood. I think that there's been a lot of pivoting, and in that pivoting there's been, to me, a demonstration of agility and resilience by our staff, and I'm really excited to see that. In particular, we know that physical buildings and initiatives like that are important to revitalize Trenton, but during a time where there's been a lot of conflict and competition, just as important, actually more important in revitalizing Trenton is relationship building, is collaboration, and I think what we've been seeing with the school board is an example of that. What we've been seeing with the city is an example of that, and for me, that is the mark of revitalization for our community, because it's people that make a community lively, it's people that make a building lively, and so really just happy to see that progress recently. In addition, I think on that note, the opportunity to work with the Trenton Community Credit Union is an opportunity to do the same kind of negotiating, the same kind of relationship building, because apparent conflicts of interest are not of interest, but conflicts doesn't actually mean there are conflicts. And so what we've seen with the school board, where there were apparent conflicts, we are now finding opportunities for that not to be the case, but to find win-win situations for everyone. And so I'm hoping that we can, on that note, continue to do that kind of relationship building in all the work that we do. With that said, just wanted to bring up maybe a little bit of a separate issue, in particular with the timing of our meetings. I'm in a very fortunate position where my job encourages me to volunteer, and I don't really have any conflicts with that. But it makes me consider those who maybe don't have that same opportunity, especially for our residents. And I do think that, a time during noon on a Wednesday isn't necessarily the most accommodating time. And so I would just hope that we can consider maybe still keeping it Wednesday. I think that's a good time, but to do it around 5:30. I think that's keeping it Wednesday at 5:30 doesn't allow us to conflict with other city meetings that are typically happening on, say, Tuesday and Thursday. And I believe that that's a small step that we should take. So those are my two commissioner comments.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yes, I have some comments. I have been getting some phone calls about non-payment letters. I guess tenants have been receiving them. From what I'm being told, I've asked some of the tenants to go to the property manager's office or asset office and get a register, because from what they're saying to me, they're not understanding why they're getting non-payment letters. I asked them so I can look at it, assist them. One person had said that they were late, they got a $35 late charge, and they're still being billed because they haven't paid the $35 in addition, but you're charging $35 every month because the initial month that they were late, they didn't pay the $35, but they're still being charged $35 after that, since I guess the last 6 months. So, or something to that effect.
I don't want
Are
to
you
interrupt.
talking-
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt you with that
No,
comment.
go ahead.
That comment is accurate in the sense that we are, again, as I mentioned, we're making a conversion over to the new system. That conversion, just for this past month, was the reason why there were late letters that were sent out for people who had made payments on time. we are making those adjustments, and we have adjusted all of the tenants' registers. Anyone who has come in, we've kind of waived those late fees. And again, it was an issue of us, the mapping for the systems. So as we convert over the systems, those letters went out before the actual conversion, in addition to the holiday for the beginning of the month.
I really appreciate you saying
But
that.
it wasn't in excess of 6 months. So if they're saying that they were charged for 6 months of a late fee, that's not accurate in a sense. But there were some instances where with Labor Day, with the holiday, the push things back for the timing. So we are accounting for that, and we have encouraged individuals to come in, and we have wiped away late fees and things along those lines. Anything that has to do with their registers. But if you want to provide me with their information, I can definitely reach out to them. I have my staff talk to them in detail and kind of go through and run through the charges that they have on their files.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that too. So I would like to say that to the tenants, because most of the time, how this is set up is Mr. Garrett. Our interaction is supposed to be with Mr. Garrett. With the employees, I hesitate because some of the tenants are here. They say to me that they don't really know who's who. So I would appreciate it if there is a notice downstairs at the desk. So if tenants are coming in about their rent, the person who's the reception there or the security can contact you and make an appointment. So they will call you, make it say,
Tenants know to talk to about their rent.
Yeah, their first point of contact should be their property manager. Well, their first point of contact should be the property managers. Yeah, the property manager should be their first point of contact. So they should
Oh, right, they said they talked to the
their first
property
point of contact
manager,
should be
that's
their property
correct.
managers.
They have talked to the yes, that is correct. They do talk to the property, but they're saying they're not getting anything from the property manager. So that's what I'm saying. Who do they follow up with if they're not getting any results or getting the information they need from the property manager? Because one person says she's been waiting 3 weeks to get a register because of the conversion of the software. And when she got, I think 2 days ago, went there to get it, and the person said, well, I got to print it out for you. She's been waiting 3 weeks. They were supposed to already print it out. When she got back there, they said they're having difficult printing it out. So I noticed that there is training. So I'm assuming there's training for this new rollout.
Yeah, we have implemented the training, and our property managers have been trained on that. So, but again, if there is an issue, we'll take it up. We can take it up after this, but we'll give you the proper channels for tenants to reach out to us and for us to respond to them.
Right. So, like I said, the tenants. One thing they do know is that the board is here to advocate on their behalf. So I get the calls. I can't speak for the other commissioners, but I'm just saying to you, I do get the calls. The recertification letters, the tenants who are being recertified, their income being recertified because of whatever changes in their income, they have been asking for a new lease. The lease that they're getting, what they're getting is that their rent is increasing, and this is what they would be paying for the annual duration. But what the tenants are asking for is the initial lease that you will sign when you first moved into a unit. That is not being updated. Tenants who've been here since 1977 is still working off of a lease of 1977.
That's not true.
I thought the ACOP was redone, correct?
The income.
That's absolutely not true.
Okay.
That's absolutely false statement.
Okay.
When the ACOP was redone, new leases were done, and the way public housing works, the first year, you get your lease for the first year. After the first year, it's a month-to-month lease. So the original, whatever the lease you sign, unless there's a change to the ACOP, that lease stays in effect. So the last time we did the ACOP, we had all residents sign new leases. So their lease that's in effect now is the lease that's in effect. When they come into the year, they get their income updated. The lease doesn't change.
Right, but the thing is,
they can request a copy. Right. If they want a copy of the original lease, they can request a copy of the original lease from their manager's office. They can request it.
Right, but if they're, from my understanding, you were supposed to be updating the lease, implementing some changes in those leases. So when there's changes in whatever version that you're working off of. Because everyone should have the same version, not different versions of leases.
The
Because
lease,
the lease is what is being implemented.
the lease
enforced.
is updated in accord with the emissions and continual occupancy policy. When we change the ACOP, if there's required a change for the lease change will be made at that time.
Well, could you please put something together for the tenants to know that, because that's not how they're understanding it.
You say the tenants, we have 1,500 tenants, and we have tenants that have lived here for multiple years.
Yeah, you're right.
The tenants, I mean, it may be some tenants that need additional information, but I think the tenants understand our process and our processes work.
All right, well, I'll repeat what you just said, because I say that, and they tell
So
me, no, that's not the case.
Can we just get the name of those tenants?
I have
That would be
submitted,
helpful.
excuse me, I have submitted the names of those tenants to Mr. Gary.
You have not submitted the names of tenants to me. You have not.
I haven't sent you spreadsheets and lists of tenants' concerns?
No, you have not.
Okay.
Not about this.
Okay.
You talking about the June 21st meeting that you did the meeting minutes for, but not
Carry
about
on.
not about the tenants that are calling you. I don't know anything about the tenants.
Okay,
that
so
are
let me
calling
go on, please. All right, meeting with council residents. Okay, so, the list here that was submitted by Ms. Green, the director, is Ms. Green here?
you. She's not.
Okay. It needs to be updated. I just want to say, one of the presidents, I'm not sure if you were aware, not saying you were not, Charlotte Davis, she passed on, about few weeks ago.
It's been longer than a few weeks. It's been much longer than a few weeks.
Okay, so this just needs to be updated because, some of the residents, some of the, boards I interact with, and I don't see their names, so this doesn't seem accurate here. So if I can get an updated list of the RAD board members, it would be greatly appreciated. Transfer to, so also getting a lot of complaints in regards to the, for years, tenants who had medical issues, just like Miss Evans, is it? Was it Miss Evans was last one spoke? Yes, Miss Evans, that they need a first floor. So we had, from my understanding, some of these tenants has been waiting for a while. They say to me that they are aware that there's first level units available, but they're not being considered. So this is what I've been telling the tenants. Because, I hear what you're saying, I'm only bringing what I'm hearing. So my thing with the tenants is that they need to get a binder and start documenting. Because, and a lot of things, like I said, I do ask, I do inquire to make sure what I'm hearing is exactly what it is. That's why I email and I don't get responses and I'm still bringing it up and I'm being told something else. Meeting residents, but excuse me, I'm not done.
Commissioner, we have a 3-minute limit and you have exceeded your time greatly, okay? So we do.
No,
we
don't do
need
that.
to move on.
No. So when I'm talking, I got 3 minutes. When the other people are talking, you sit there and you don't say one word, you don't interrupt them, and you're not abrupt. Okay? You're very abrupt. So you need to stop it.
No one takes the time that you take, but.
No, but I'm here doing what excuse me.
I'm here to move the meeting.
Yeah, well,
okay?
you know what, you're
Any
terrible
other
at moving the
commissioner has
meeting.
comments?
Yes, I have one comment.
Move on.
Yeah.
I was thinking that,
Like I said, this is what I'm here for. I'm not here for the board. I'm here to advocate on behalf of the residents. And you block me every meeting that I'm here.
Go ahead, Commissioner Green.
I think we have a lot of issues and keyword documentation. So, I'm a millennial, I'm just saying, maybe we need an app. Maybe tenants need to be able to, because I'm like, it's so many work orders. How can we know what to fix if they're not documenting it, if they're not putting in work orders? So we got to start holding people accountable, because I'm hearing they're calling Ms. Aubrey Walker. Ms. Aubrey Walker got a job to do. She paid to do a job. She can't just pick up a phone, get a call, and then do an order. So I think that we need to create like a portal I live in condominiums, and if I go to my property manager and I call her, she gonna say that she put a work order in. So I think if we had maybe like a housing authority app, they can put their complaints in there, just something, you know, they say they don't know when the meetings are. It's too much of, oh, I don't know who the property manager is. Let's create something so nobody can't say they don't know. Maybe we could create something on Facebook, because I'm quite sure that all the tenants have Facebook accounts. So they can go on there and leave comments or whatever, because how can we know what to fix if they don't leave documentation?
Well, we have, again, a part of the new system that we're implementing will have a portal where it will allow us to track that a lot better.
Because Ms. Rion, we see every comment is the same comment, but she's not documenting.
Exactly.
anything.
And that's the thing, we don't know, we only know what we know. So they have to document it for us to actually take action against these work orders. If someone's having a problem where a sink is dripping for
Yes.
months and months, and then we come out and there's, you know, a hole in the floor, but where the water was dripping, we don't know that. They have to notify us. So
Yes.
that's where we're, like you said, so we are trying to capture that in our new, the new ERP system that we're implementing. So we're rolling that out as we kind of meet with the tenants, and they'll be having access to it.
And I want y'all to know, the staff here to know, I appreciate everything y'all do. You work really, really, really hard. It doesn't go unnoticed with me. We have a lot of different projects going on, so, and shout out to Christy, because she hold it down on redevelopment.
Thank you.
Any other commissioner with something to say?
I have one comment. I think we all have to take into consideration, even the tenants, because I am a tenant myself. And I know this for a fact because I get it from my neighbors. A lot of people do not want the housing authority in their house, so they will not put in a work order or say what issues they have. So the next thing they do is tell the next door neighbor or somebody else that they talk to. Technically, the next door neighbor have to say, if you continue to come to me and tell me what problems you have, you have to go to the office. You have to stop telling me your problem, because I'm not the worker. I'm just your neighbor. And and this is the problem that goes on, because those people who are having an issue, they're not here at the board meeting. The neighbor is, and you're telling about somebody else's issue. You know the rules just like they know the rules. So you can't be blaming the staff for a job that you think that they're not doing. They can only do what they are told that they need to do. It might not be on a timely manner, you know. A lot of issues that I think the residents don't take into consideration. You sit outside with your kids all day long, instead of putting stuff in the trash or putting your garbage in the compactor, you just throw it on the street. Somebody has to clean that up at the end of the day. So that's taking time away from the workers for what they need to do in order to clean that up. And they only work 8:30 to 4:30. It's just like a regular job if the tenants had a regular job. You gotta understand the protocol. So it's a win-win situation when we all work together, but you just can't blame one individual for somebody not doing their part.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I just wanted for the record that Commissioner Durant left at 1:46 p.m. and reflected in the minutes, please. I don't have any comments.
Okay, with that comes chairperson comments. The only comment I have is that the housing authority is a large operation. There'll be some missteps, there'll be some issues, and the thing is, like you said, there has to be accountability across the board. The conversation's been going on a little bit about how do you also make the tenants responsible as well as maintenance. If there's no record that you made a complaint about what's going on in your unit, you know, we need proof of that, so then you can find out where it's bottom down at, you know. So now, if everybody's accountable, it's easier to start working on some of this stuff, you know. Like for somebody say, well, I've been saying this for 6 months. Somebody say, well, you haven't said it to me. That's hearsay. That documentation shuts all that down. We know where it's going, but I commend the administration for working on these issues to bring resolution to them. And in time, it'll work itself out. It's a large place, and everybody needs to play their part.
Yes.
that includes the tenants as well as maintenance, as well as administration. Everybody needs to play their part in order to make this work. And with that, that's all I have to say. There will be no executive sessions here. And do we have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those in favor?